What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's webinar where we're going to talk about our exciting new features that are available to you in Loop Pro. My name is Matt McCoy. I'm the founder of Loop Community. We're going to get started here in about 5 minutes, but we're going to do a giveaway. So if you are watching this, go ahead and type in the comment box, tag another worship leader friend of yours that you think might be interested in these features. And we're going to choose one person who tags their friends. We're going to choose one person to give away a Loop to Miss Mini. So go ahead, start tagging your worship leader friends. Maybe also just let us know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where everybody's tuning in from, and we will be back in about 4 minutes. See you soon. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Getting Started with Loop Pro. My name is Matt McCoy. I'm the founder of loopcommunity.com, and I'm excited to be with you here today to talk about the new features that we've launched regarding Loop Community and our app called Prime. If you have not heard of our app called Prime, you've got to check it out. It's a great app that you can use on your iPad, on your phone, on your Mac, and it makes it so easy to run all of your multi-tracks that you purchase from Loop Community. Makes it easy to run them in a worship service. So make sure you check out our app Prime. But we're really excited that we launched last week Loop Pro. You may have heard of this, may not. And these are all features that have been highly requested features from our users. And so we really listen to our community, and we want to develop features that are actually being requested. What is it that you guys need? And we're listening, and those are the ones that we're working on. So we're really excited to launch Loop Pro. It's something we've been working on for a long time, and it brings some really great features that are going to make your worship planning easy. It makes using Prime easier, and just your Loop community experience better. So before we dive into these features, check out this video about Loop Pro. Loop Pro adds even more features to make your worship planning easy. With Loop Pro, your set lists are stored in Prime Cloud and automatically sync between all your devices. Create a team and share set lists with members of your band so they can rehearse at home and feel prepared. With Loop Pro, all of your custom song arrangements can be saved in Prime Cloud so you can access them at any time from any device. Loop Pro gives you even more storage to upload your own personal audio into Prime Cloud. Bring your team together and make worship planning easier by joining Loop Pro today. All right, so that's a quick overview of the features that we launched in Loop Pro. You get all of these features with just a simple monthly subscription. And our first subscription tier that we're starting with is $9.99 a month, and it gives you access to all of those features. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to walk through each of those features and kind of talk about how they work, what the benefits are, and how you can really use them to just make your worship planning easier. So let me just show you the website first of all. So we're going to look at loopcommunity.com, and you'll notice that when you first get to the website, if you are not a pro user, when you scroll down, you'll see something that looks like this, where it says upgrade to become a pro. Or you could also click in the menu bar at the top, become a pro. So let's just click this. And it's going to bring you to the pro overview page. Now, again, we're only starting with one tier, but we're going to be adding more tiers eventually. We're going to be announcing those in the coming weeks. But Loop Community Pro, when you subscribe to this monthly subscription, it gives you a few things. It gives you storage space to upload your audio to Prime Cloud. It gives you setlist syncing, meaning you can create a set list on your computer, and then when you go to your iPad, the set list shows up there as well. Because up until this point, set lists have only lived locally on your devices, meaning if you lost your iPad or if you had to delete the app for some reason, you lost those set lists. Well, now with Loop Pro, all of your set lists are actually stored in the cloud, which means if you lose your iPad or delete the app or something happens, you will not lose your set list. This is a great feature, and it also just is a way to keep all of your devices in sync together. So, because I know some of you guys are like in your church office and you want to build a worship set on your computer and then walk onto stage with where your iPad is, and your set list will automatically be there. So that's a great feature. Another thing that we launched is Prime Teams. Prime Teams is a very highly requested feature, and it's a way we've had community members ask, how can I share my set list or my tracks with team members to rehearse at home? Well, Prime Teams is the solution for that. So you can create a team, add volunteers from your worship band at your church, and then you can share specific set lists with them so that they can practice at home. We also launched Prime Arrangements, and this is another feature you get with Loop Pro. Up until this point, your custom arrangements in Prime lived on your local device. Well, now they live in the cloud and they're saved in the cloud. This means that if you rearrange the song, let's just say you take a song and delete 4 of the bridges and then move a chorus to the beginning, you can now save that arrangement as your personal arrangement in the cloud, and you can use it again at any time. So that's a feature that comes with Loop Pro. So again, you don't have to be a Loop Pro member to use Loop Community. All of that is staying the same. You can still use Loop Community. Every person in Loop Community gets the standard plan for free, which gives you 300 megabytes of upload space for personal tracks, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. it lets you upload your own personal tracks, so 300 megabytes worth of that, and you have unlimited downloads of your purchases. So we do not limit you to a download window. When you buy a track from Loop Community, you can download it forever. It's not based on like a time limit. Now, if you upgrade to our first tier, which we're calling the Pro tier at $9.99 a month, you will get 25 gigs of storage space. You can upload all your own tracks to Prime, 25 gigs worth, which is actually a lot, probably more than you'll ever need. Most tracks are like 60 to 100 megabyte each. Unlimited downloads of your purchases, which is what we just talked about. You'll get your setlist syncing. You'll get to add team members up to 10 people. You'll also get a cool little pro badge on your profile. You can also change your header image on your profile. I'll show you that in a second. And you can save your song arrangements. So all you need to do is log in to subscribe. And I'm going to go ahead and just log in with my account. And I'm actually already a pro user. So you'll actually see that there's my little badge. It says I'm pro. And we can go to my profile and you can see actually where I've added a header image. This is just kind of a fun little thing you can do now. You can add a header image to your profile. We're trying to really just build the community here at Loop Community. And so we're going to be kind of adding new features for commenting on profiles. So we actually recently did add that where you can now comment on profiles and reply to each other. So we're trying to really just continue to build community. So go ahead and add your header image if you're a pro user. Now once you're a pro user, on the left-hand side of the screen you're going to see a section called Prime Cloud. And now you'll have 4 different links that bring you to these different features that you get when you're a pro user. So let's look at the first one, and this is called Prime Tracks. And this is your storage for personal track uploads. The tracks that you purchase from Loop Community do not count against your storage space. The only thing that counts against your storage space are tracks that you upload. So in this case, I have 25 gigabytes of storage when actually it says I have 60, but that's because we're giving everybody right now, if you're currently using over the free allotment, until January 1st, you get to use up to 60, which is great. So, but what's important to note here is that of that 60 gigabytes, when I upload a track, it is not counting the size of the zip file that I'm uploading. All right? So for example, if I'm uploading a multi-track to Prime Cloud, usually that zip file, if it's all WAV files, it's probably going to be about 400 to 500 megabyte, which some of you might be thinking, well, wait, that's over the allotment. Don't worry about that. You can actually still upload that. What ends up happening is our servers end up converting those WAV files to M4A files which work in Prime, and that is what's counted against your storage space. So a 400 megabyte zip file might be converted down to a 50 megabyte zip file. So you actually have a ton of space for your personal tracks. So in this Prime Tracks window is where you can see all of your personal uploads. You can also see your purchases. You can show and hide your tracks in Prime. You can filter them by the types of tracks. So this is the Prime Tracks window. Nothing is changing here. This works exactly the same as it did previously. But let's go ahead and look at Prime Setlists, because this is a big thing. So now under Prime Setlists, I can actually create and see all of the setlists that I have already. So what we could do is, let's just say we're going to create a new setlist, and we can call this, October 9th. And if you wanted, you could drag artwork into here. If you want to do some custom artwork, you could do that. Click Create Setlist, and it creates a setlist for you. If you click on October 9, now I can start adding songs to my set list. So let's just say we're going to do Who You Say I Am, and then we're going to do, I can hit Load More to see more of my songs. These are all the songs that are in my library. These are purchased ones. We're going to do Good Grace, and then we're going to do, let's just do another one. Let's do From the Inside Out. So you have a set list here. You can reorder the songs by just dragging them like this. You can delete the song to remove it from the set list. And then what's great is when we go to Prime, we're going to be able to see this set list. So just for download purposes, I'm actually going to delete just one of these, just so we don't have to download a bunch of tracks. So we're going to have 2 songs in our set list. I'm going to click back to set lists, and let's go ahead and launch Prime. I'm going to log into Prime. You want to make sure that you log in using the same username that you use at loopcommunity.com so that you can see all your tracks. I'm going to click on Load Setlist, and it's going to show me all the set lists that I have in my account. So there it is. There's October 9, the one we just created on the website. I can go and click on it. What's going to happen is it's downloading all of the songs that are in that set list. So this works a little differently than how Prime has worked before in the past, because what it's doing now is it's going to download every song that's in that set list. And I need to actually enter my computer password because I just did a fresh install of the app. We're going to go back and click on Load the Set List. And now it brought in my songs. So I've got From the Inside Out. I've got Who You Say I Am. Now, what we can do is, let's just say I'm like, you know what? Actually, we want to add another song to this set. I can click on Add Song. It's going to pull up my song library. And let's go ahead and pull in a song. Let's do God I Look to You by Bethel Music. It's going to download that track. Again, this works a little differently than the previous versions of Prime. Notice how now that it's downloaded, if I click on it, there's going to be a drop down, and it's going to ask me what version I'm wanting to import. And this is going to be important when we start having our custom versions. So go ahead and click on Original, because I'm bringing in the original default version of God I Look to You. And now I have my set list. Now, in a new version of Prime that's actually going to be releasing later today, you're going to notice there's a sync button in the top right corner of the screen. What you're going to want to do is, let's just say I want to, I want to move God I Look to You to the very top. We're going to do that first. And we're also going to change the key of that to be in the key of C so that it flows perfectly into From the Inside Out. Once you have your set list arranged, I'm going to go and press Sync. And it's going to sync and save that set list to the Prime Cloud. So now let's go back to the website. Let's go ahead and click on October 9. And you'll see that my 3 songs are there in the order that I had rearranged them in Prime. The keys changed, everything updated. Now the same thing works in reverse. So let's just say I'm going to do it again. I'm going to move Who You Say I Am to the very top. All right, now let's go back to Prime. If I press Sync, it's going to now sync to what the latest version is on the website. So there you go. Who You Say I Am is now first. So what's really cool is that you can just manage set lists from any device that you want. Now, let's go ahead and click on Add Song, and we're going to add a click track. And this is for maybe just a click track for those of you who use click tracks. So we're going to just call this Revelation Song. Click. And we're going to make this 72 BPM at 4/4 and hit Create. It's going to add it to my set list. Your click tracks will save to your PrimeCloud library. All you need to do is you can click on the little 3 dots here and choose Add to Library, and it's going to ask you, what do you want to call this click track to save it to your library? So I'm going to call it Revelation Song Click. If you can spell it right. It's going to save and press Sync, and it's going to save everything to the cloud. I'm going to show you once it does that. Let's go back to the website, click October 9th, and our click track is there. Also, if you go to Prime Arrangements, my click is there under Prime Arrangements. So that is managing set lists between devices. You can update just about anything. I mean, I can, in Prime, you could also rearrange the song arrangement. You could rearrange the key, the transition options, the different track volumes, your MIDI assignments saved to a set list. Okay, so if I were to go ahead and map a MIDI controller to this set list by using the MIDI option here, all of those MIDI mappings are going to save to my set list in the cloud, which is great. It means you can actually MIDI map to a bunch of different set lists, save them all ahead of time, load them later, and all your MIDI mappings are going to be there. Your output mappings, so let's just say you've got a track rig plugged in and you're going to start routing the different outputs, those all save to the song arrangements and the set list, which is awesome because that means now in the future you don't have to reset your outputs every single time for the songs. You can just keep re-importing your tracks and the outputs are all going to be there, which is really, really great. So that is setlist syncing. Now let's talk about setlist sharing and team sharing. This is a really exciting feature. So I'm going to go to Prime Teams, and this is my team. You can always click on Edit, and you can change the name of your team. I call my team Loop Worship Team. And then you can add 10 people to this team. So I can click on Edit Members, and you can search for a username on Loop Community. So here is what's important. The only person that needs to have a Loop Pro subscription is the main worship leader, the account holder. So for example, if I'm on staff at a church, I can sign up under Matt McCoy for a Loop Pro subscription for $9.99 a month, and it will give me 10 people that I can add to my team. So then now what I'm going to do is I will then email my team and say, hey Brett, hey John, go to loopcommunity.com, create an account, let me know what your username is. They'll email me back their username, and then I can add them to my team so that they can access the set list and all the tracks to practice with at home on their own devices, which is really awesome. So once you go to Edit Team Members, you can just do Find Member, and here you can search for usernames. So let's just say Jansen on my worship team told me his username is Jansen Roberts. There he is. I'm going to click plus to add him, and I added him to my team. So I have 10 team members on my account now, which is awesome. This is great because up until this point, many of you maybe were sharing your login with your volunteers, and that caused some problems because maybe someone changed the password on you and you didn't know what the password was, and you just didn't want people logging into your account. Well, now you can have people that still can access your tracks without having to share your username and password. So in Prime Teams, I've created my team. You can also click this tab here to see what teams you're a part of. So I'm a part of 2 different teams that other people have added me to. But let's go back to our set lists. And what I'm going to do is let's just go back to the let's actually try this Christchurch Easter Sunday set list. In the top right corner, you can click Edit, and this you can edit you can manage the people that you've added to the set list. So I'm going to go ahead and add Jansen Roberts to that one. So now when Jansen logs in, he can actually see this set list in Prime. Let's go back to the set list we just created October 9th. And what we're going to do, I'm going to show you this in action. So we're going to click Edit, and we're going to add Loopfrog to this set list. We're going to add Andrew and Steven and Matt Slack and Derek. All right? And then click Save. And it added those people to be able to access this set list. Let me show you now what it looks like from their perspective. So we're going to go back to Prime. I'm going to log out. Okay? And then let's just pretend that, your worship team member is on their iPad and they download Prime and they're going to log into their account on their iPad or their phone or their Mac. So let me just show you with them doing it with the Mac. So let's just pretend that this is, we're going to be Loopfrog. That's that user we shared the set list with. I'm going to go ahead and type in the password. Nobody look. All right, so now we're in Prime. I'm going to click on Load Set List, and when you click on Load Set List, you're going to see all of your set list, and then there's another tab called Shared with Me, and this is where people can see the set lists that are shared with them. So this is Loopfrog's account, remember? And so they're seeing, okay, I can see the Christchurch Easter Sunday set list shared with me by Matt McCoy. Here's the one we just created. Let's go ahead and click on that. It's going to load that set list. And here's what's really great. Your team members, they can edit just about everything except for the arrangement of this, except for the order of the set list. So they could go ahead and play the track like this, and they could listen to their parts. Let me go and just put this into stereo. So your bass player could just listen to the bass track if he wants, or the drummer could learn the drum part by listening to the drum track, or the guitar players. If you're the electric guitar player, maybe you bring everything down like this. You can kind of learn to play along. They can also change the key if they need to transpose, change the tempo. They can change the arrangement of the song blocks. So if they wanted to go here and go to edit arrangement and move these around, they can do that too. We give them access to that. So they have full access really, so that they can use these. But here's what's important. If they make these changes, it does not update for everyone else. So if Loopfrog is in here and they make all the changes and move the song around, change the key, change the track, volumes, another person on your worship team, Jansen Roberts, who's using their iPad at home, they're not going to have those changes be reflected. Or Matt McCoy, let's just say that I'm the master setlist owner. I'm the one that created the setlist. I'm the one that shared it with everybody. If Loopfrog makes any changes, it's not going to affect the master setlist. But if Matt McCoy, if the master setlist owner does change the setlist, it will update for everybody if they press the sync button. So this is really good because there might be a case where maybe you're a church of multiple campuses. Maybe you've got like 6 different campuses and you create one setlist for every campus. Well, they can download the setlists and then use it how they need to use it. Change the key, the tempo, the arrangement, whatever they need to do. And if you need to push out an update for everybody, like, hey, you're adding a song, you can do that and they don't have to update, but they can if they just press the sync button. So that's how Prime Teams works. You can share set lists with members of your team. And this is such a huge thing because I think that this is such a cool way to let your band rehearse at home. You could just send them an MP3 file, but I think this is so much better because they get full control. Instead of a mixed down MP3, because I know some of you guys make your own rehearsal tracks by bringing them into Ableton, mix them down, export. Well, this is so much better because it gives them full control. The drummer could just solo out whatever he wants or mute whatever he wants or change the arrangements. It just makes it fully customizable for a rehearsal. So Prime Teams alone, I believe, is totally worth the $9.99 monthly subscription just to get your team all on the same page and all on board. So let's go ahead and keep looking. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Prime Arrangements now. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to actually log back into my master account because I'm the pro user. All right, so log into your account. Nobody look at my password. Let me show you a few of the little features here. So one little quick tidbit on managing songs in your set list. All right, here's one little quick tip. Sometimes people think that when they delete a song, they're just removing it from their set list. So they just do it like this, remove from set list. That doesn't delete the song from your device, it just deletes it from the set list. If you ever need to re-download a song, maybe the tracks were updated, or maybe something's not working right, you need to actually go into the Add Song dialog box, which is here, and then click on the dots next to that and choose Delete Song from Device. And that will make it so that you have to re-download the song. So let's do that from the inside out. Delete Song from Device, and then I could re-download a fresh copy. That's very important to know. All right. Now you can also, if you go to Load Setlists, under My Setlist, there's also 3 dots. On iOS, by the way, there may not be dots. You just swipe left and it gives you a delete option. Here you can actually manage your set lists. So for example, let's just say we're like, you know what? We're not doing October 9th anymore. So I can just click Delete Setlist from Device or Delete Setlist. Choosing Delete Setlist from Device will just remove all the downloads. Deleting the setlist will delete the setlist forever, permanently. So let's go ahead and delete the setlist. And it just removed it. Now let's go and just double check that by going to the website and click on Prime Setlists. And you'll see that it's nowhere to be found. That setlist has been deleted forever. Let's go ahead and look at, we're going to pull up another set list. Let's go ahead and work on Christchurch Easter Sunday, and it's going to go ahead and download these tracks. Depending on the number of tracks that are in a set list, and depending on your internet connection, which I highly recommend that you do this on a Wi-Fi connection, don't do it over like your LTE connection. Depending on how many songs you have, this download could take short time or not long at all. But another important thing to know because this is a question we get asked a lot, is do you have to be connected to the internet to use Prime? The answer is no. But you do have to be connected to it's yes and no. You have to be connected to the internet initially just to download the songs. But once the songs are downloaded to your device, you can turn off your internet. In fact, I recommend that you do, because you don't want text messages from your mom coming in while you're leading worship. So once you download things to your device, go ahead and go into airplane mode, turn the Wi-Fi off, and you can use Prime all you want. You don't have to have the internet to actually use Prime. You just need the internet to initially download the songs to your device. So my set list is now downloaded. Let's go ahead and just click on it to load it. All right, so this is our set list for Christchurch Easter Sunday. And I'm going to show you some cool things you can do with Prime arrangements. Now let's just say you were doing Reckless Love, okay? I'm going to go and press play just so we can hear this track.
Intro 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Intro 3, 4, 5, 6.
Let's just say I want to get rid. Well, first of all, I'm going to change the key. I like doing this song in the key of E. Okay. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to edit the arrangement. I'm going to click on Edit Arrangement. I'm going to double click on this beginning intro part, this little guy right here, because we don't really need that. So I'm going to double click on it and hit delete to remove it. And we're going to do the intro, the verse, the chorus. And then what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to get rid of this bridge here by just right clicking and choosing delete. And at the very end of the song, I actually want to do another bridge. So I'm going to double click. I'm going to add a bridge. So I added a bridge. And let's just say, you know, I actually want to do only 2 bridges here, so I'm going to delete this one as well. So this is my custom arrangement of Reckless Love. I do it in the key of E. And let's also kind of edit some of these, the track volume. So I'm going to go ahead and press play just so we can hear what this track sounds like. I'm going to bring the acoustic down. I'm going to bring the bass and the drums down. I'm going to bring the guitars down. We don't need those. This is probably all we're going to use in this track because I've got a full band. Also, the click sound, I'm going to change the click sound to be Rim. I'm going to change the voice to be Meredith Andrews. So we got, it sounds like this. Great. So I have my custom arrangement. Now historically, up until this point, custom arrangements were saved locally to your device, which again was kind of a bummer because if maybe you, let's just say you used your Mac one week to lead worship and then next week you're using your iPad. Well, up until this point, any arrangements that I made on my Mac wouldn't show up on my iPad. So I would have to make the same changes here, which is kind of a bummer. So, but now what's really cool is that you can save these custom arrangements to the cloud so that if I'm on my iPad creating a set list, I can have all those exact same changes and arrangements. Now again, if I were to plug in a Looptimus controller and a track rig and I started changing my audio outputs and my MIDI mappings, I could save those as well. So here's how you save an arrangement to your Prime Cloud. All you do is there's 3 little dots next to the song and you just click on those and you choose Add to Library. This is going to let you add your custom arrangement to the library. So I'm going to call this Matt's version. And it went and saved it. I'm going to go ahead and press sync to go ahead and save it all to the cloud. And then I'm going to show you on the website. So let's go back to the website and we're going to go to Prime Arrangements. And you'll see that now I can manage all of my different arrangements. So I have Matt's version of Reckless Love in the key of E, because that's the key I like doing it in. You can see I also have the Revelation song Click that we made earlier. And then I also, a couple days ago, made a shorter version of Waymaker that I do in the key of C. And I saved that to my library so that now in the future, I don't have to keep making those same changes every time I use the song. This, again, is such an awesome feature that's going to make using Prime, your whole Prime experience, so much easier. And I believe is well worth the $10 a month. So here's what you can also do is you can manage these. Let's just say you're going to delete them. So let's just say I don't want the Revelation song Click anymore. I can just click Remove from Library. and it will remove that click from my library. It will not show up in Prime anymore. And let's just say you wanted to rename it, so I can change the name. So this is, let's just say this is Easter version. It's a little early for Easter, isn't it? Here, let's make it Christmas version. Christmas version, and hit save. And now I have the Christmas version of Reckless Love. Let's go back to Prime. And I'm just wanting to show you that these things will change. So when I click sync, you're going to notice that here, this is going to update to be called Christmas version, which is great. And now let's just say we're doing a whole other set list. We're going to create a set list for Christmas. Christmas worship. Now I can click on Add Song, and it's going to show me my song library. Let's go back. Let's go find that Reckless Love. Here it is. Click on the song. Now notice, again, this is important. This is different than how Prime used to work. It shows me the different versions that I have available. So I've got the original version, which has no changes to it. This is like the original version that came when you purchased the track. And then you're going to see any other version that you created. So I have my Christmas version. So let's click on Christmas version, which, by the way, if you want, you can remove it by clicking delete, and that will remove that version forever. Click on Christmas version. It's going to add that version to my set list. Notice that all of my changes came with it. So it got rid of the intro. It got rid of that extra bridge. It put the bridge at the end of the song. It changed the volume of my tracks, put the song in the key of E. All that to say, every change I made to that arrangement saved to the cloud, and now I can use that in any set list forever. This is so good because, again, if you lose a device, if Prime gets deleted for some reason, you have to do like a wipe of your device and reinstall Mac OS or something. All of your set lists, your hard worked set lists, your arrangements are saved to the cloud, and you can use them again at any time, which is really great. So what's really important to know is that this sync button, if later on today we're going to be releasing a new version of Prime that has this sync button in it. So if you don't see this sync button right now, you will. It'll be available later today, so make sure you update. I would recommend that you update to Prime as soon before the weekend service as you can. So if you can update tomorrow morning, it's always better to give yourself time to practice, work out any kinks, get used to the app interface, make sure everything's good. I do not suggest that you update this like 20 minutes before worship set, all right? Just do it tomorrow morning and you'll be totally fine. The sync button is what you need. If you click the little I info button here, it'll show you the last time it's been synced. So that just lets you know just when the last time was that you synced the app. And that is those 4 features for Loop Pro. So we went over Prime Tracks, where you can manage all of your purchases. You can manage your uploads to Prime. We went over Prime Setlists, where you can see all your set lists. You can see your set lists that you've been shared with you. We went over Prime Teams, where you can add a team and add people to that team. In the future, we're going to be adding the other tiers to Loop Pro, where you can actually maybe have more than one team. Right now, it's just one team with 10 people, but we're going to be adding other options where you could have a bunch of teams and more people. And teams are a way to organize people. So we're going to be adding new features for that as well, because I know some of you need more than one team, and some of you need more than 10 people. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming. And then we went over Prime Arrangements, which is where you can manage all of your custom arrangements that you made to songs in Prime. Now, if you need to sign up to become a pro, I highly just check it out. Go to looptuner.com, click on the Become a Pro at the top of the website, and you'll see this page where you can edit your subscription preferences, put in your credit card, and just try it out. You can cancel at any time. So if you try it out and you're like, hey, this isn't for me, no worries, no sweat. You can always cancel. But if you're a Prime user, I highly recommend that you check out this feature, because I really think it's going to make just using Prime and making set lists a lot easier for you, and keeps everything together and keeps your band all on the same page, because they can share the set list, practice at home. How many times have you had a rehearsal where like you show up and it seems like no one even listened to the song ahead of time? Well, this might be a cool way to kind of let people use their own devices, a Mac, iPad, phone, to download Prime, which is a free app, by the way, completely free download. Let them log in and practice with the set list that you give them. And they can learn their part, tweak it. I actually did this past weekend. We were playing Good Grace, the radio version, and I wanted the drummer to learn the drum part for the radio version because it's different than the live version. And so he just downloaded the app, opened up Good Grace on his phone, and was able to practice along with the click at home. It also helps people just know what to expect when they're rolling into rehearsal. They kind of get an idea of like, what does the click and the cues feel like? What's the arrangement of the song? How's this going to feel? So this is a great way to set up your team for success. So I hope that this helps. I hope this gave you a good overview of how Loop Pro works and the features that are packed inside this monthly subscription. Stay tuned in the next couple weeks. We're going to be announcing other tiers that offer more storage space, more people, more teams, and we have a lot of other really cool features that are in the works that we're really excited to roll out over time. And we cannot thank you guys enough for being a part of Loop Community. And we're listening to you guys, so give us your feedback, give us your feature suggestions. We're listening. All of these features that I showed you today were all suggested by community members like yourself. So we're listening, we care, and we're thankful for you guys. Hope you have a great week in your worship planning and have a great weekend leading your church in worship. Thanks for what you do. We'll see you soon.